Check your WhatsApp. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you and welcome to the NYLC League game between Jaguar Football Club and Right to Win Football Club. Of course, it's taking place right here at the Enyimba International Stadium, popularly known as the Elephant Park. And for the home team, well, we have Jubril Daniel in goal for Jaguar FC, Abba Kelvin. Of course, Julius Innocent, Lubim, Jude, Ezekiel Chika, Ekunife Michael, the captain of Jaguar. Of course, Ian Patrick, Yusuf Isa, Idume Kelechi, Okechukwu Success, and Nuji Victor. And for Right to Win, who are playing from right to left, from where I'm sitting, I have Jude Matthew in goal, Chimobi Henry, and the central heart of defense, Ugochukwu Iwuji, Favor Itode, and of course Oscar Olugo, Anthony Ume, Effiong Emmanuel, Kingsley Nwankwo, of course Abdulaziz Nuruddin, Adejasin, and Uche Darlington. Of course, Jaguar is the home team on white with touches of orange on a black pants and orange socks. While for Right to Win in their traditional red and white striped top and red shorts and red socks to go with. Of course, we saw Jaguar FC in the last game against Cone. They lost in the dying stages of that encounter by a goal to nothing, and they will be looking at building from that disappointing performance right here against Right to Win. And for Right to Win, we wait to see how they'll be able to make a stake a claim right here at the Enyimba International Stadium when they take on Jaguar FC. Of course, the players of Jaguar are having their final team talk, while for Right to Win, they are taking positions right now, waiting for the visitors to get ready. And of course, the referees are ready also in order to get this game up and running. And of course, I'm not doing this alone. I am Emmanuel Joseph, known as the sports pastor El Chijo, and my color commentator for this game this morning is none other than Bertel Carlo. Well, Bertel, of course, we were here the last time when Jaguar took on Con. What are your expectations ahead of this encounter?
I expect to see an improved Jaguar FC side because in their first and second games they've shown improvement in both games, and they had a very good game against Con, and I'm expecting them to take it a bit higher and play better in this game. And for Right to Win, they've also been playing well. They've shown that they're a side to be reckoned with, a side that had shown intent in the games they've played in this tournament. So I'm expecting them to be able to give us a very good game, and of course, like I always say, I expect goals in this encounter.
What are goals? They are the most exciting thing in football games, and of course we expect to see a lot of goals. Well, the center referee ready to get this match underway in no distant time. Of course, final checks being done right now by the AR1 on the Jaguar end of the post, and of course by the AR2 on the Right to Win end of the post. Jaguar lining up to play from left to right from my sitting position, and of course Right to Win will be playing from right to left. And of course, giving you those that will be on the bench for Jaguar FC: Okoye Victor, Elekwa Oti, Chibueze James, Ozuronye Caleb, Alison Franklin, Ekelebe Chigoze, Ohaji Osinachi, Okeke Chinemerem, Gabriel Ekene, and of course Chijoke. And for right to win, we have Christian Chibuike, Okeugi. Of course, we have Destiny, we have Osanowu Alex, we have Sunday Christian, Wisdom Agocha, Samad Ibrahim. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, the game is up and running. Jaguar FC with a kickoff takes it long to the left hand channel. Ball keenly contested there, but of course he's been displaced. Right to win with the ball now. Back to Jaguar FC, who launches it forward to no one in particular, and of course the right to win player done in the jersey number 4, Oscar, clears that one. Kingsley brought down there. Of course, Anthony tries to take it long, dispossessed. Jaguar coming forward. He dashes down the left, but then the AR1 raises his flag for an offside. And of course, right to win can give a sigh of relief. Oscar takes a shot to the middle. Of course, Kingsley gathers that one. Passes it straight to Ugochukwu, who is running down the left-hand channel. Of course, he launches it deep. Beautiful saves there by Jupri Daniel to take that one out of the danger zone. Of course, it's out for a throw in favor of right to win. Yusuf gathers that one. Battle of wits there. Of course, the man done in the jersey number 3. Opportunity shoots. And his wing scars away from goal. Ugochukwu. Beautiful shot there from him. And he's the leg of a right Jaguar player, ricochets. And he's out for a corner. Well, better you've seen some spirited performance, at least in the first 2 minutes of this encounter. And right to win coming forward, where they would have gotten up ahead in that game.
Yes, that was a fine effort there, and a fine defensive job done there by Jaguar FC. And you don't give right to win space. They know how to. They know how to close down on those spaces. And one thing about right to win is that they know how to attack, and when they attack, they know how to just get themselves into favorable positions, and that is exactly what we've seen in the first 2 minutes of this encounter. They've had the chances, the first chances, real chances of this game, and though we've also seen the goalkeeper Jubrin Daniel make a good save, and that is what right to win brings. If you give them that chance, they will hurt you. And Jaguar FC also, they know that they have to keep it clean at the back.
We're talking about keeping it clean at the back. In the last game against Con, Jaguar FC did all the very good things when it comes to defensive games, but of course they lost that game in the dying stages of the second half. Quite disappointing there for the young lads. Where Jaguar coming forward, about to take the throw at the half of right to win. Well, it's a free kick. I beg your pardon. In favor of Jaguar. Tesiklon straight into the box. Of course, the captain of the side talking about a favor. Takes that one out. And the referee calls it back for an infringement in favor of right to win. As he can give a sigh of relief. As he can look at turning defense into attack. Favor takes it long. Looking for Well, he's out for a throw-in. Jaguar cleared their lines, but contested between Oscar and Wisdom, and of course he's down. Talking about Oscar, up at this moment they decide to build, trying to run down the right hand channel, dispossessed there, but still within range. As you can see, some pushing between Anthony and Ian Patrick. Right to win. Of course, Oscar straight to man donning jersey number 14 for right to win. Uche. Well, Ugochukwu about to take the throw to Oscar. Takes it forward looking for Uche, but the young man hesitates, but then see a sprint of some sort. A corner in favor of right to win. Well, Uche did so much to put the pressure on the Jaguar. Well, the referee, of course, points to the corner. Right to win about to go play their corner. And of course, I can see the man donning the jersey number 12 for right to win. Chimobi Henry about to take that corner. He takes it. A header to that one, but then couldn't trouble Jubril Daniel as a right to win. Or rather, Jaguar can beat from the back again. Jubril decides to go left, short pass right down there at the back, straight into the half of right to win. He's dashing down right there. Interchange of passes there to Ian Patrick. Well, of course, tries to take it long, but it goes straight into the hands of Jude Matthew. Well, a corner right there for Jaguar. But better, we've seen Jaguar trying to build a game from the back and maybe cause upset for right to win. So far, so good. Nothing has really happened. No team has actually gone up ahead in this one, and Jaguar has a corner to take. Well, I'll come to you after that corner is done. Takes it straight, but then an offside caught there by the eagle-eyed assistant referee, and of course that one amounts to nothing better.
Yes, it amounted to nothing. I was feeling that it should have been Jaguar's first chance to at least get a shot on goal. They've not really gotten a shot on goal in this encounter. They've been on the back foot, and the few times they've had to move ahead to get into the danger area of right to win, they've not really known what to do with the ball. They should be decisive, and I feel that is one of what has been their problem in the past two games. They possess the ball well at some point, and they also get into the danger area, but that final touch is really lacking, and that is exactly what they need to do.
Well, Jaguar, beautiful opportunity here. Tries to shoot, but then that one ricochets off the leg of a right to win defender as they can beat from the back. Of course, that man Nuruddin dashing down there, but Jubril reacts quickly to gather the ball expertly. Jaguar with the ball right now, because it's out for a throw in favor of Jaguar. Free kick to Jaguar. Of course, they have an opportunity in order to maybe spring up a surprise, as much as right to win seems to be favorite on paper to get this one. But then in football, we've seen underdogs do the impossible. But the contest right there. But then the goalkeeper of Right to Win, Jude, got that one expertly, beautifully dispatched there. But then the man done in the Jason number 14, Uche Darlington, didn't react too quick. Of course, nice interchange of passes there. Patrick looking for Julius Innocent, but then that one is out for a throw-in in favor of Right to Win and the half of Jaguar FC. Well, Kingsley about to take the throw for Right to Win. Takes it long into the box. And of course, the referee spots stand offside and gives it to Jaguar FC as they cannot turn defense into attack. Jaguar springing forward. And of course, better, we saw Jaguar in their last game doing a lot of scintillating passes, but in this game they've been finding it difficult to nick 1-2 passes together. Do you think that this might actually affect them going forward? And of course, you know, in football, when you don't take your chances, it can come back to really haunt you and of course punish you.
Well, I think it's still early for us to talk about them not stringing passes and then how it will hurt them. They are still trying to find their rhythm against a very good side, a very good Right to Win side who have already shown that they can hurt any team. So they are still trying to understand how Right to Win plays and also still trying to get into their stride. So for me, there's really no cause for alarm now. They can come back and take possession of the game when they get themselves in, when they get into their stride. So I really want to see them and knock the ball around like they used to, like they have in their two previous games. Maybe when they get themselves into that position where they like to knock the ball around, then they can fancy their chances of getting a goal.
We're talking about fancying their chances. Jaguar here ahead, but then it's cleared the goal line just very quickly. Reminiscent of what we saw in the game involving Manchester United and Crystal Palace. Again, where just when Jaguar were about to shout for joy, a victory song about to be sung right here. The Right to Win defender clears it off the line, and of course, they can heave a sigh of relief as they are coming up ahead in this one. Where Jaguar in their last game against Corn created a lot of chances, but they didn't do well in the final third, and that really cost them that game. Well, beautiful passes right there at the back. I hope he can clear his line, and of course he's still running with the ball and clears his line expertly as they can come forward. Talking about Jaguar FC. Of course, Najee with the ball. Well, guided the ball, but then couldn't do anything with it, and the goalkeeper Jude gets that one straight to Gochukwu. Captain Favor. Well, of course, he was looking for Kingsley. Well, he tries to run his magas, talking about Chukwu's success. And he was successful in getting a foul for his team, a free kick in favor of Jaguar. Abba Kelvin standing behind that one. The game seems to have come alive with that chance from Jaguar FC that was cleared at the line by the Right to Win defender. Of course, the goalkeeper Jude was beaten, but the defender was on hand in order to save the day and of course save his team. Straight into the box, but then Abba Kelvin takes it straight into the hands of the goalkeeper Jude, who decides to throw it to Ugochukwu, who is running down the left-hand channel looking for Uche Darlington. And Ugochukwu trying to conjure something there. Uche Darlington still with the ball. This place is 1, 2, 3 players still with the ball. And of course, it's been dispossessed to Uche Darlington. Of course, free kick to Jaguar. Uche Darlington, one of the beautiful players to watch out for as far as the Youth League is concerned. Intelligent player. Of course, this is what you get the best of grassroots football. And of course, the man looking for Abba Kelvin. Ugochukwu launches it straight into the box. Well, of course, he couldn't clear the lines there. He did as expertly, but they are not out of danger. Wow. Well, better you saw that. Had the opportunity to stop the ball. He did stop it in his stride, but reminiscent of what we saw Bruno Fernandes do in the Manchester United game against Crystal Palace. Couldn't clear his line very well, and they would have also been at the receiving end of that one. But of course, he recovers quickly to clear their lines, even though Jaguar, or rather Right to Win, have a free kick in their corner in their favor as it stands.
Definitely, that would have been a big moment for Right to Win, but then Lubem Jude had to step into that one. He's been one of their best defenders in this tournament. He's been brilliant, and it is showing. He seems like one of the most experienced defenders in this Jaguar FC side, and he's one of the players who has kept it clean at the back for them. And I'm also impressed with what the defense of both teams have done in this encounter. We saw that goal line clearance from Right to Win. That would have been the opener for Jaguar FC. So both defenders have really covered themselves in glory.
Well, of course, Jaguar coming forward. Interchange of passes there. Chance. Jude saves that one with his feet. I expected trying to get his name right now. Well, Yusuf expected him to put more fiery power in that one better. You saw that, of course. I'll come back to you after the corner. Jaguar corner straight into the box. Where Florian Fernandes was goal line save again by the goalkeeper Jude. 2 chances for Jaguar, 2 saves for Jude. Of course, Jude maybe can save Nigeria from all their issues. Beautifully done there. Another corner to Jaguar. Wait to see what comes out from that one. Well, I can spot 1, 2, 3, 4 Jaguar players in the box. Takes it again, due to that one. Well, he tried to clear the first one, and of course he gathers that ball expertly. Better you saw those 2 chances. Of course, Jude called into action again and again, and of course he delivered.
Definitely he delivered, and that is what you expect of your goalkeeper, to come to your rescue in times when the team is under stress. And you also have to give credit to Jaguar. They've responded well. Like I said, when you were talking about them not having the ball possession, I said they still need to understand how this Right to Win side are defended. Now we've seen 2 times they've breached the defense of Right to Win by sending the ball across their defense line, and that shows the understanding they have now. We also have to give credit to Jude Matthew. Fantastic goalkeeping we've seen from the chances that Jaguar FC had. Even though I feel that Yusuf should have done better, and also of course that fantastic header from Naji, that would have been an opener. So you have to give credit to the goalkeeper for that one, and also give credit to the strikers of Jaguar FC, who have also raised their game and they want to score. And for me, one thing about Jaguar FC is that they will press when they want to press, but then, like I said, the finishing has to be the problem, and they need to work on that.
Talking about working on that, they have to work on not getting a goal. That work has been quite scintillating as they go forward now. Okechukwu success with the ball. Abba Kelvin. Success. Well, I don't know what he intended doing there, but then interchange of passes there from Right to Win. Changes the trajectory of the game. Ugochukwu. But then the ref spots a foul in favor of Jaguar. Jaguar about to take the free kick. Test it long into the half of Right to win, but then the referee calls that one back for a foul. Pass straight to Favor. Takes it forward, looking for Ugochukwu. But then Jabril Daniel gathers that one. Takes it forward. Well, a free kick in favor of Jaguar as Ugo. Jaguar in the half over. Right to win. Passes right there, trying to create a space in order to cross into the box. They've been pegged back by the defense of right to win. Cross into the box. Well, the referee says it's a goal kick. Jude Matthew goes left. Into the half of Jaguar. Right to win. Anthony Ugochukwu. To Ugochukwu. Of course, back to the goalkeeper, Jude Matthew. Tested long. Offside trap set there by Jaguar FC, and of course, that caught right to wins if young Emmanuel, who was trying to beat the line and of course maybe get a goal for inside. Beautifully done there, but then couldn't get all the space to shoot. Okay, Chukwu success. Right to win. Building from behind. Favor. Captain of right to win. Looking for Chimobi Henry. Of course, Jaguar FC looking at maybe getting their first win of this Youth League. Remember their last game, they lost to come. Before that, they lost against Pepper Rest in Omaya. And of course, the goalkeeper of Jaguar, Jabril Daniel, was called out and he made a beautiful save. Abba Kelvin brings the ball down with his chest. Of course, he was hacked down there by no other person but Uche Darlington. And it's out for a free kick in favor of Jaguar. Of course, that man, Ezekiel, taking that free kick, but then it amounts to nothing as it's out for a throw in favor of right to win. Ugochukwu taking the throw, gives it to Anthony. Ugochukwu takes it forward. Where king contest between Nuruddin and Abba Kelvin. Jaguar. Number 28. 26 Lubem Jude. Ensuring that doesn't trouble the goalkeeper as they plunge forward now. An opportunity for Jaguar, but is out for a goal kick. Jude Matthew. Well, he decides to take it back to Favor, who passes it to Kingsley. Nuruddin. Well, a battle of wheels here, but dispossessed. Abba Kelvin. I beg your pardon. Kelechi running down the right hand channel. Well, she takes it. Well, no one in that box to tuck it away to go. Of course, nice interchange of passes there. Yeah, decides to go direct. Talking about Anthony is out for a throw-in in favor of right to win. Abdulaziz, jersey number 19, for right to win. He decides to shoot. And he's inches away from goal as Jaguar can build from behind again. A goalkeeper. Jubre calls his left back to come and take that one. Jaguar coming forward. Just possessed right there, the defender. Well, scrappy clearances left, right, and center. But at the end of the day, right to win have the opportunity to do something. Jude Matthew to favor, because Nuruddin, I beg your pardon, Kingsley, well, he was looking for Ugochukwu, but then that one was called back for an offside. Jaguar. Welcher Darlington retreating to help his team. Jaguar player takes it forward, of course, Favor. Here's that one out. When Nuruddin with the ball now coming forward. Sports 2-3 players decides to go right, looking for where the ball is out for a corner. Can see the goalkeeper of Jaguar, Jubri, telling his defenders to do all they can in order to ensure that they nip up the attack in the board before it causes a problem for them. Corner. Jaguar clear their lines. Time to beat from the back. Faces through that defender. Well, of course, the referee calls that one back for a free kick in favor of right to win. So far, so good. It's still goalless in this encounter, in this game involving Jaguar FC and right to win. Well, it is a free kick to Jaguar. Well, of course, the medics have been beckoned. The right to win player is stood down. Of course, better, I don't know your assessment as we hit the half-hour mark as far as this game is concerned. Well, both teams have not scored, but then we've seen flashes of brilliance as the players are going for a water break. If a goal should come, maybe just to put you on your neck on the chopping block, if a goal should come, where do you think that it will be coming from? Or you think it's a half that will end goalless, and maybe we'll see goals in the second half?
Well, it's been an interesting game so far from both sides. We can see the talent are there. The players have already shown themselves and what they can do, and also we have to give credit to the both goalkeepers. They've really stood like a rock, and the defense they've been the difference here in the game for me. And also talking about where the goal come from, it can come from anywhere. Both sides have shown that they can get into the danger area and do what they like, but then they've not been able to score, and that's a big problem for them. That is really what separates both sides now. We've seen that goal line clearance from right to win. We've seen the goalkeeper over right to win, Jude, called to question, and also we've seen the goalkeeper of Jaguar FC, talking about Jubrin Daniel, come out to make two important saves. So this game might just go to the last minute, or to maybe decided in the second half.
But of course, our near chance right there for right to win. We have 2-3 passes, tailor-made passes, I must say, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, the man donning the jersey number 14 for right to win with a clear opportunity to tuck that one straight into the middle of the box. Decides to do what we call arrow to right here, the cutting hole like of shots, and I was inches away from goal. Well, talking about the man donning the jersey number 14 who had that shot, Uche Darlington. A right to win can beat from behind, favor. Decide to go for looking for Nuruddin, and the ball was at his back foot, or rather Ugochukwu Jubrin. He decides to come to the middle. 2-3 options right there for him. Ezekiel. Takes it forward. The referee calls it back. Is an offside. But of course, Julius Innocent was the one who was caught in that offside trap. As we see, the right to win goalkeeper Jude Matthew, he's down. Seems to have fractured his knee while going for that contest initially. As we see, a change about to be effected right here for right to win. Well, of course, Destiny is about to come in. Well, of course, Antonio Melo is the one who has been taken off. And coming in will be Destiny. Antonio Melo seems to have hurt his arm right there. So that change has been effected. Destiny coming in for Anthony Ume. I've seen the coach is giving some pep talk to the team as we are still trying to ascertain the true situation of what happened right there to the goalkeeper of right to win, who is down on the turf as it stands, requiring medical treatment. Remember, it's to the NYLC game between right to win, who are the visitors here, taking on Jaguar Football Club, of course based in Omaya. A young enterprising team, Jaguar FC. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the 33 minutes of this encounter. The goalkeeper is still down, talking about Jude Matthew, still requiring medical treatment.
I feel that this game, the players might just be tired because of this long break. I don't know if Jaguar, if Right to Win do not have another goalkeeper on the bench, and if it doesn't, if they do not, they should maybe one player should come in as the goalkeeper. But it seems I see a goalkeeper warming up on the sidelines. If Jude cannot continue, we need they need to bring in another goalkeeper, and so that this game will continue. But then, this is what happens when you have a good goalkeeper, a goalkeeper who is very good, and it becomes a difficult decision for you to take him out. We've seen Jude; he's made fantastic saves here, denied Naji, denied Yusuf, and also he was beaten once, and the defenders came to his rescue. He's been fantastic in this game. Maybe just that's why the coach is hesitant to bring him out, trying to see if he can really stand up and get on his feet to complete the first half at least. But then it's a really difficult position for coaches when their number one goalkeeper, who has made important saves in a game, is down. They have that hope that the player will come back and then continue, even as we see him coming back. If he's not able to continue, and I believe that we'll just see another goalkeeper come up.
Well, coaches are always very skeptical to make those changes, especially when it concerns their number one goalkeeper. Remember, Right to Win have already effected a change because of the injury that happened to Antonio Melo. Maybe Jude can continue. Of course, no coach will want to have his number one out. Just the same thing we are hearing about Stanley Nwabali, of course, having a fractured knee and a hand injury ahead of the selection of the African Cup of Nations team by the Super Eagles coach Eric Sekochel, the Franco-Malian. But then Jude is up and the game roars back to life. Favor, captain of Right to Win, decides to go forward. When Nuruddin out, and of course Jubrin, ensuring that does not get beyond him. Well, a sweeper goalkeeper, if you want to call him. That's a job many goalkeepers find difficult doing. Nuruddin dashing forward in a push rush from running like a man on fire. Straight to Uche Darlington. When he's in the box, dispossessed right there. Battle of wits. Clashes of body. Of course, the referee calls that one back in favor of Jaguar. Jaguar to take that one, but then it seems like our back Kelvin. Takes it long. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, I've just been told that there will be 5 minutes of additional time. Abba Kelvin hacked down there by Kingsley Nwankwo. Of course, Kelvin is back on his feet. Free kick in their favor, and the man done indicating number 8 for Jaguar. Rather number 18, Ezekiel. Well, he walked away from that one. Of course, Lubim Jude takes it long straight into the hands of Jude Martel. Ladies and gentlemen, see the NYLC game involving Jaguar FC and Right to Win right here at the Elephant Park, the Enyimba International Stadium. We're just counting minutes to the end of the first half. It's been a keenly contested time right here. We've seen goal line saves that we are not taking. Begging chances, I must also add, from both sides. As we await for the opener of this encounter. Right to win. That takes it straight into the hands of Jubrin Daniel. That didn't trouble the goalkeeper at all. Nice interchange of passes there by right to win, but then dispossessed. Of course, Kingsley was trying to conjure magic, but then that did not come to fruition. As Jaguar can give a sigh of relief. Well, nice interchange of passes right there in their own half. No fear whatsoever. That is what you get from an enterprising team. Of course, they're looking for Naji. Rechugu. Throw in favor of Jaguar.
Outside.
About Kelvin instructed by the referee to go back because they take it long. Jaguar straight into the half. A cross. Nobody there. Chance. We're clattering of legs and that is out for a goal kick. Better, you saw that one. Beautifully done there. Brought in the ball. Changed. Tried to shoot, of course, and we saw that defender with that timely intervention went up, not entirely clear from the line. Of course, we saw the right to win striker heading it, but then it was inches away from goal. Frantic effort, wasn't it?
That was a moment of relief for right to win. That should have been the goal. Good effort there by the players for Jaguar. Got into the box, but then somehow they managed to put the ball in the back of the net, and you have to give credit to the captain of right to win for that vital block there. That would have been the opener in this encounter, and you have to, like I said, you have to give credit to the defense of both sides. They've tried all their best to make sure that we've not seen a goal in this encounter, and also the strikers have not covered themselves particularly in glory, because if they have, we should have seen a goal in this encounter, and that was another big mix, a begging chance for Jaguar, and I wonder how many times these chances would just have to be begging before they get the opener.
Well, it's been a moment of near misses, ifs, chances and probabilities in this game, especially for Jaguar, who have been the better side. Of course, Nuruddin dashing forward, just the goalkeeper to beat, and he couldn't do that expertly. Jubrin Daniel, another beautiful save to keep Jaguar in this game. Better, you saw that. Nuruddin playing on goal, no one was pursuing him, just the goalkeeper to beat. Had all the chances in the world to pick a spot, and of course dispatch it expertly, but they decide to go low, try to lob the keeper. Jubrin put his hand into that one, and of course that is another chance that goes for right to win.
Definitely another chance gone begging, like I was saying. This game has seen us, has given us a lot of opportunities for both teams. If they had taken their chances, we'll be talking about goals now. We'll be talking about goals, but then they've not been able to convert their chances. Nuruddin had the chance, all the chance in the world to put that one at the back of the net. You also have to give credit to the goalkeeper, Daniel, who came out to get his hand to that one, and that was the decider in this game. And just as I was talking, he made another big save to keep his side in the game.
3 minutes, 2 beautiful chances, ladies and gentlemen, from both sides. Well, unfortunately, none has gone into the goal mouth as far as this game is concerned. Both teams still level. contest of some sort between Jubril. Well, ladies and gentlemen, just like I said, it's been a game of misses and near misses, ifs, chances not taken. And I'm sure for both coaches of the two sides, they will not be happy. Well, we are in the dying stages of the first 45 minutes. 2 minutes to go, or maybe less than that, as both teams are still on par, nothing differentiating both sides. Young enterprising play from these two teams playing in the Nigerian Youth League. The best of where you see young players. Beautifully done there to whisk past his marker. Chance! But then couldn't cultivate anything out of that one. Not entirely out as a right to win. Maybe he can stake a claim in going up ahead in this game. But then that cross goes straight into the hands of Jubril. Jubril takes it forward to the left. That was expertly stopped there. But then he's halfway through in favor of right to win. Throw in to right to win. Another throw, this time to Jaguar. Ladies and gentlemen, a foul in favor of Jaguar in the half of right to win. Right to win defender put his leg to that one. Can that moment of magic come now? Can they conjure anything, Jaguar FC? TikTok says the clock as we are winding down in this first half. Whoa, that would have been it! But then it wasn't. Near chances, misses again and again and again. Oh my goodness. Well, Jaguar can, rather, right to win can heave a sigh of relief as they come forward right now. Well, this place is two persons was still able to pass the ball forward. Well, of course, Nuruddin, who missed the sitter initially. Displays right to Jaguar. Time to turn defense into attack. Straight looking for the man down in the jersey number 11. Talking about it, Dume Kelechi. Still with the ball. Looking for Abba Kelvin, who comes to help him. Wesley decides to go forward. Beautifully done there, instinctively by that player out for a corner in favor of Jaguar from the right-hand channel of attack. Well, the last corner we saw how much it troubled Jude Matthew and the defense of right to win. Abba Kelvin cross into the box, of course, favor the captain of right to win was on hand to ensure that didn't get in. Another corner to Jaguar. Takes it straight in, but then doesn't trouble anyone. Pushes Abba Kelvin with the ball. Equilife Michael. Well, of course, he was looking for Kelechi. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the first 45 minutes of this encounter. We've seen both teams do their very best, but then the game is still goalless as it stands. Chances, near misses, a game of ifs and probabilities. We've seen strikers miss begging chances. We've seen midfielders close down spaces. We've seen defenders rising up to the occasion. And so far, so good. Nothing to separate both sides better.
Definitely nothing to separate both sides, but it's been a beautiful game from both teams. They've shown class, they've shown talent, they've shown that they have what it takes to compete, and we've seen beautiful saves from both goalkeepers, Jude Matthew and Jubrin Daniel. Wonderful saves from both of them. If not for their saves, this game would have perhaps given us goals. And then you have to give credit to the defenders who've done a good job, and then the midfielders. It's been an eventful first half, a first half full of thrills, and of course, like you mentioned, near goal misses, and it's really interesting to see how both sides grew into the game. The game started with right to win, pressing for an opener, but then they didn't get that opener, and Jaguar came back into the game and kept pressing for that one. They should have gotten a goal in this encounter as well. We saw those chances from Naji and Yusuf, and also saw that miss from Nuruddin Adebisi for right to win. It's been an eventful first half, like I said, and I'm hoping that in the second half both sides will be able to give us something that looks like this or something even better. And like I said, what is the beauty of football without goals? And I'll be expecting both sides to give us goals in the second half.
Well, a wise man once said that hope is the last currency of the common man. And of course, we are hoping for goals when the second half is back on the way. Ladies and gentlemen, it's halftime. Jaguar nil, right to win nil. Welcome back to the second half of this crunchy tie encounter between Jaguar FC and Right to Win. And of course, Right to Win playing from left to right right now, while Jaguar will be playing from right to left. A change about to be effected right there for Jaguar. JC number 23 coming in for JC number 34. We'll be getting you their names shortly. Of course, both teams are still playing out a goalless draw right here at the Elephant Park, the Enyimba International Stadium. Well, in the first half, we saw a lot of chances that went mixing, begging chances, I beg your pardon. And of course, we saw probabilities, eaves, and unfortunately, at the end of the day, nothing gave way. Saves from Jude Matthew of Right to Win and Jubrit Daniel of Jaguar. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the way for the second 45 minutes of this game. The Youth League encounter involving Jaguar FC and Right to Win. Free kick to Right to Win. Ugochukwu 23 for Jaguar. And of course, we couldn't do anything with that one. Jersey number 2 for Right to Win. Takes it in through the box. A short one. But the first defender missed it. But then the second defender was on hand to ensure that it doesn't result into a goal, putting his team behind. What a way to stand up and be counted. Right to Win playing like a house on fire in these early stages of the second half. Favor, captain, Koza takes it back to his goalkeeper, who gives it back to him as they can now turn defense into attack. Well, chance there, beautifully done there to hold that one back. And he's out for a goal kick or a corner kick in favor of Right to Win. Of course, it was some sort of a battle there between Nuruddin and the Jaguar defender, who hastily cleared the ball out for a corner. Decides to go short. Well, short, but then that was inches away from goal, as Jaguar can beat from behind. Just number 23. But dispossessed there. Is out for a throw. Ekunife Michael takes that one. The captain of Jaguar, Nuruddin, asking for the ball. Of course, Nuruddin dispossessed. Right to Win takes the throw. Well, they're passing from behind. The Jaguar player holding on to his ball, and of course he's out for a that's a free kick. The referee, of course, telling the player to take the ball back. These things can happen where player tries to get some advantage. Right to win player hastily clears for a corner. Jaguar, their first corner in this second half encounter. Corner to Jaguar, a player is running towards him. Well, still looking for a way to loft the ball straight into the box. Is out for a throw-in. Throw into Jaguar. Trying to conjure something, of course. This possesses this man, but is brought down rather expertly by that defender. He's out for a throw-in in favor of Jaguar. Free kick to right to win. Foul in favor of right to win, or rather Jaguar. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, this is the game involving Jaguar FC and right to win. 50 minutes of action, make that 51. Man done in the jersey number 10 for Jaguar, and young Patrick. 34, Naji Victor brought down there. Ekwinife Michael about to take the free kick. Of course, the man who was brought in earlier for Jaguar is none other than Elekwa Oti. Because he came in for Julius Innocent. Jaguar coming forward. Michael. Give for the winger right there. The young star is brought down. Of course, the referee running towards him. No card to be issued yet. And of course, remember, no card has been issued in this game too. 36 yards out from the right angle. Jaguar to take the free kick. Chance! Well, straight into the hands of Jude Matthew. He throws it out while looking for Nuruddin. Well, of course, it's a battle of wits right there. Nuruddin not able to get it for Elekwa. Of course, whizzes past Nuruddin. Of course, gets a foul, and the first yellow card is about to be issued to Nuruddin by the center referee. Lubem Jude. Takes that straight to OT. Well, it's up for a throw. But I don't know of your assessment as far as this second half is concerned. We've seen some sort of coming into life from right to win, while Jaguar has been on the back foot for the first opening few minutes of this game. But then we've seen them also try to bring up or spring up one or two surprises. But so far so good. Nothing is separating both sides in this encounter.
Definitely nothing separates both sides from this encounter, and this is exactly how right to win started in the first half. They started like a house on fire. They bombarded Jaguar FC with lots of attacks, but then Jaguar FC recovered and then came back, got their chances, but then they couldn't get a goal from those their chances, and the right to win have started that way again. For Jaguar FC, they've really shown promise in the second half as well. They've had their chances to score, and but they've not been able to get that one. As said, Jude Matu, in his usual fashion, has been up and doing. He's been lively, trying to prevent them from getting in those crosses. So it's been a good one for Jaguar, and I'm impressed with what the substitute Elekwa Oti has done. The coach made a very good change, bringing in Elekwa Oti, who busts down the left hand flank to give Jaguar FC width when they are attacking, and that is exactly what the coaches do: read the game and then make those changes. And Jaguar FC, they are playing well in the second half, and right to win themselves and not pushovers. They are the most experienced, the better side when it comes to experience, and the experience is really showing for them.
Well, a change about to be done there by right to win. Wisdom Agocha to come in, and of course, Samuel Ibrahim coming in for Kingsley Wankwo and Favor, or rather Nuruddin at DBC. Wisdom and Samuel coming in. Of course, Nuruddin is out, as well as Kingsley Wankwo for right to win. Well, it's another free kick in a vantage position for Jaguar FC. That's it straight into the box. Put his hand. Well, I expected him to do better with that position, but then, of course, he couldn't do anything, and, well, it all comes to pushes and hoops. And right away coming forward. Well, Jaguar plunging forward. Chasing straight to the box. Not entirely clear chance. Inches away from goal. Oh, I hoped he would have done better by keeping the ball down. Talking about Inyang Patrick. Free kick to right to win. And of course, the man donning the jersey number 12. Chimobi. course, Uche running in. Dispossessed. Jaguar have the ball now. Well, of course, our two players behind that one, Oscar and Favor, ensuring that it doesn't trouble the goalkeeper as the man donning the jersey number 2 is Bad Destiny. He's doing his very best. Of course, Ekunife Michael hacked down there. By the man donning the jersey number 14 for right to win. Talking about Uche Darlington. Isiak Abdulaziz behind the boy Ekunife was the one who was brought down. Free kick to Jaguar. Whoa, that man's head is off to mass. Well, of course, Bethel, I don't know your assessment of the game so far. Of course, the medics have been called upon to treat him to avoid a head concussion. Well, I remember playing street football. Of course, whenever you see some pullouts like that, you first have to hold your head so that you don't start looking for it at the end of the game.
Exactly, and it's really hot. The player gets back on his feet. It really hot, and that would have been a dangerous one for right to win, because Jude Matthew did not calculate that well. Just think that the ball came off that player's back and into the goalpost. That would have been would have called that an own goal. That would have been dramatic. But then Jude Matthew will be very happy that the worst did not come out from that one. It's just a throw for his side. I'm sure he would be more careful next time, and it's good that the player is back on his feet now, as both sides have been able to stabilize themselves in this second half. They've had chances, but then we saw that a fantastic shot there by Kelechi Duma, but then it sailed across across Jude Matthew's net. We want to see more shots on target in this second half.
Not just shots on target, ladies and gentlemen. We wait to see goals. Well, he's been played on. Talking about the man. Just the goalkeeper to be challenged, and it's a goal. Is a goal. Is a goal to right to win. Right to win goes ahead, of course, at some moment of mistake and disillusionment. They can't believe it. Better you saw that. Of course, the players, Kelechi Oti thought that that man was off, but then he wasn't. He was just watching him as he resisted his way past through, puts the other man on, and is a goal. Right to win. 1, Jaguar 0.
Well, that is what happens when you lose concentration. I don't know what the Jaguar players were thinking. Maybe they thought that was offside. That was why they relaxed, thinking that the AR will raise her flag. But then the AR was right in position to see that one. It has happened one or twice, and they've had the offside go in their favor. But then when you lose concentration at the vital point in the game, you get punished. What a way for right to win to get their goal. They never relented. Immediately they saw that the flag was down, they kept pushing on, and they got that goal. And I'm sorry, really sorry for goalkeeper there, for the goalkeeper Jubrin Daniel. He had just 2 players. He had 2 players just before him, and his players were upfield. There was nothing he could have done, and it was really a difficult one for him. He was also thinking, I'm talking about Jubin Daniel. He was also thinking that it was going to be an offside, but then the flag was down. If the flag is down, whatever happens is legitimate, and right to win have deservedly gotten their goal. Jaguar FC will have themselves to problem. You don't lose concentration. If you cannot execute an offside plan very well, you should not try it in the first place. And this is how they got punished.
We're talking about getting punished. Of course, many would tell you play to the whistle. Of course, if he had continued to chase down that man, maybe they wouldn't have been pegged back in this one. But then, Jaguar are the ones who are on the back foot for all the glorious things they've done in the first half. But you know, in football, when you don't take your chance, it comes back to haunt you. Of course, we've seen this player troubling the defense of Right to Win. Talking about the man who was brought in the second half, Samuel Ibrahim. He was the goal scorer. Beautifully dispatched that ball when he was square played by Isiaq Abdulaziz. Jaguar. Jaguar. Of course, the man done in the jersey number 10, Ian Patrick, passes to Elekwa Oti. Because the man done in the jersey number 12 for Right to Win, Chimobi Henry hacked down there, and it's a free kick. Of course, he was brought down by Ian Patrick, who has been shown a yellow card. Maybe frustration brewing as far as this game is concerned for Ian. Taking right there, Samuel. Of course, he was played by Isiaka. Free kick to Right to Win. Of course, 3 Right to Win players there. The man done in the jersey number 12, Chimobi. Of course, the man done in the jersey number 2 who just entered this year by Destiny, and Abdulaziz Isiaka about to take the free kick. Can spot 4 Right to Win players in the box of Jaguar. Takes it, but he sends it to the Central Bank of Nigeria. Well, let's get right there. It would have culminated in another goal if that ball hadn't gone out for a corner in favor of, well, the referee calls that one back. Of course, the players weren't given any yards to express themselves passing from behind. In case you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the NYLC League. Of course, 66 minutes of action, make that 67 right now, as the score is Jaguar 0, Right to Win 1. Of course, Right to Win got that goal after some lack of concentration there, and misconception too from the midfield and the defense of Jaguar, who thought that Abdulaziz was offside, but then he wasn't, and he dashed down unopposed, square play into Samuel Ibrahim, who just shoots into the open net as Jibrin Daniel was already taking off while he was trying to close down Abdulaziz Isiaka. Abdulaziz jumping highest, destabilized, brought down, and of course, the first one by Jaguar, but then that amounts to nothing. Well, better, there seems to be some sort of growing frustration and uneasiness from the Jaguar side ever since they conceded that goal. They don't seem to be calm anymore, and this might be counterproductive. I'll come to you after this attack, of course. The offside has been given to Jaguar in their own favor. Better.
Yes, it's expected that when they concede a goal in that manner, they should be able to wake up, and that is exactly what they've done. But then they should calm down and string passes together, because when you are under this kind of pressure, you begin to lose your senses. You don't know what to do anymore. And I believe that the coaches should be able to talk to the boys to tell them, look, you might be a goal down, you can still come back and score in this game. It's still possible for them to come back, score, and then win the game. So there's really no cause for them to play this way. Yes, you need to see that sense of urgency when you're losing a game. There should be a sense of urgency from you, but then you should keep it calm and calculated, even as you're about to see them make substitutions.
Of course, two substitution. I'll make that triple substitution right here for Jaguar. JC number 40, Uzronye Caleb. JC number 2, Alison Franklin, and of course, JC number 28, Gabriel Ekene. About to come in, of course, I will also give you the names of players that will be off. Young, I had to chase down the ball, but then that couldn't happen. Jersey number 2 for right to win. It's about Destiny. Beautifully done there. A belter release. But then it was inches away from goal, of course. Jersey number 40. Uzronye Caleb coming in for the man done in the jersey number 10, Young Patrick. Jersey number 2, Alice Franklin coming in for the man done in the jersey number on this one, but he decides to go long, and of course that was inches away from goal.
That would have been the equalizer that we've been waiting for in this encounter. That would have been it. That was a fine effort there from Enyang, but then unfortunately just went inches wide. Good effort, saw the goalkeeper coming off his lines because he stole that ball away from the right to win midfield, and he had players closing down on him. The best thing for him to do at that moment was to shoot, and he did get the shot. Unfortunately for him, he did not get a goal in that from that shot, and after that he just got pulled out by the coach, and as Jaguar FC, they've brought in more players to be able to help them to get that encounter, to get that equalizer, and they are fighting so well for it. But then sometimes this could be counterproductive. When you are fighting to get that equalizer, you might just concede another goal. So they should be careful, despite the fact that they want to go out to get another goal. They should also be careful at the back. Even as we see them, they've pulled the Jaguar have pulled out one of their strongest men in defense. Talking about Lubem Jude for another player, we should be able to see them keep it tight at the back.
Of course, keeping it tight at the back is very, very important, as they also see how they can be able to get back into this one. Jaguar. Of course, free kick in favor of right to win. 72 minutes of action in this encounter, ladies and gentlemen. Make that 73 now. Jaguar still losing to right to win. Pass straight to Oti, couldn't get to the young man. Ball being contested in midfield. Right to win, plunging forward. The man done in the jersey number 13, Efyong Emmanuel. In the box of Jaguar. Resistance shoots. Well, that was a very weak one, very lame. And of course was on the ground, couldn't trouble Jubrin Daniel. free kick to Jaguar in their own half as they look at building from the back, maybe getting a goal in this one. Throw into Jaguar, taken quickly. Straight into the box. Well, of course, the defender was on hand. Talking about Ugochukwu. Well, of course, another offside trap set by Jaguar this time around. It worked out well. But then, better we see them set these offside traps. Most times it can be counterproductive if you still don't chase down your marker. That was what made them get behind in this game. Of course, just like I said initially, a lot of people will tell you play to instructions, but it's not looking like it's the same for Jaguar FC.
Well, like I said, when you want to play this offsides, when you want to keep these offside traps, you have to execute it to perfection. You have to understand how to do it.
Well, of course, right away with a chance. Jubrin Daniel responding quickly. Prior to that, bodies were flying left, right, and center as if they were lying down in green pastures. Right here. Of course, the referee has beckoned to the medical. A player is down on the top for Jaguar. Of course, better you saw that run. Prior to that, we saw a change about to be effected here. Before I come to you, better jersey number 36. Chibueze James coming in for the man donning the jersey number 12 for Jaguar, Yusuf Issa. Well, bodies were flying left, right, and center, sliding tackles and near misses, and of course, players falling as if they were lying down in green pastures. And that would have given Jaguar, or rather right to win, the opportunity to maybe get comfortable with a 2-goal lead. But then Jubri Daniel, of course, expertly gathering that ball. And of course, his team maybe can give a sigh of relief.
Definitely, that was a frantic moment for Jaguar FC. The best thing they would have done, they should do now, is to keep it tight at the back. Like I said, sometimes when you concede a goal, you want to go get the equalizer and you end up conceding another one because you have forsaken your defensive duties and then went on all-out attack. I would have seen the goal. We would have seen Samuel Ibrahim getting his second goal, but then the goalkeeper Jubrin Daniel came to the rescue of his side, and this is what Jaguar FC should be wary of. They should not leave those spaces at the back, because when you leave those spaces at the back, right to win have pacey players, as we saw in the build-up leading to the first goal. They have pacey players to punish you, and these offside traps, if you don't execute it to perfection, they'll just run behind the lines and get the goal.
Well, of course, Jaguar coming forward again. The man done in the jersey number 23 for them, Elekwa Oti, has been shining like a million stars, dazzling ever since he came in. Right to win, plunging forward from that left-hand channel, dispossessed. Jaguar trying to beat from the back. Is out for a throw, keenly contested tie right there, but of course the referee says it is to the favor of Jaguar. They take that quickly. Dispossessed. Well, while he was trying to dilly-dally, the ball was yanked off his feet. And of course, he is a corner in favor of Jaguar. In favor of right to win, I beg your pardon. In favor of right to win. Corner for right to win. Of course, if you want to take that one, can spot 3-4 shots in the box. Takes his shots. Frantic efforts there, and of course, Favor tried to hustle his way to get that ball, but then a free kick in favor of Jaguar as another substitution is about to be effected here for right to win. Jersey number 29, Usman Abubakar. Of course, jersey number 32, Sunday Christian, who is playing on a Tuesday. Of course, Sunday coming in for the man who was brought in initially, Wisdom. And of course, Usman Abubakar coming in for Isiaka Abdulaziz. Wisdom Agocha is off. Ekene. Man done in the jersey number 7, Success. Effiong Emmanuel. Beautifully done there, given to the man done in the jersey number 22, Samuel Ibrahim. Of course, couldn't hold that one down. Throw into Jaguar. It's 1 minute. Still Jaguar nil, right to win 1. Success. Equality. Throw into right to win. The better is becoming more physical as the clock hour is winding up for both teams. Of course, Jaguar would want to do anything to get back into this one. And I don't know, just to put you on the spot again, if you are the coach, what will you be telling your players in order to see that you don't lose 3 consecutive matches in the Youth League?
For me, if I were the coach, I'll be telling my players to go all out to get the. I'll be telling my players to go all out to see if we can get an equalizer in this one. Like they've been doing, they've been fighting so hard to make sure that they come back into this encounter. The clock is ticking. They know they have a very short time before the game comes to an end, and they're working so hard to make sure that they get a goal in this encounter. But then the problem for them is that they're not missing. They're missing chances, and it's very difficult for them now. If they are missing the chances, it has come for them in the first half. They had the chances in the first half. In the second half, they've had the chances, but then they've not been able to take their chances. If they are able to take their chances, maybe we wouldn't be where we are.
Of course, back to the pitch side action. Free kick to Jaguar. Ball contested right there. And it's out for a free kick in favor of right to win.
Inside the box. Inside the box. They could have scored me with that ball.
Jaguar.
Majority of them are our ball. Just a few of them. Just a few of them.
Throw in.
Yes, a few of them will never ball.
Throw into Jaguar. Well, it's out for a throw in favor of Jaguar. Jersey number 23 for Jaguar. Elequality takes it long into the box. We're straight into the hands of Jude Matthew. Right to win coming forward. Of course, maybe they've ended their right to win this game, considering how much they've been working hard to get all the 3 points. Elekwa Oti, good intent, nothing exceptional out of that one. As right to win, cross displaced. Of course, battle of wits, bodies clattering into each other, and maybe Jaguar can heave a sigh of relief. TikTok says the clock as we hit the 86 minutes of action. Still right to win leading Jaguar by a goal to nothing. Of course, Jude Matthew is down there on the top. But better remember, initially he had a scare in the first half. He's down again in this second half. Maybe there's really something that is wrong with the goalkeeper. And we talked about coaches not trying to change their number one, as that can be counterproductive. But therefore, Jude Matthew, how would you assess his game as far as this encounter is concerned?
Well, as far as this encounter is concerned, Jude Matthew has been phenomenal. He's been fantastic for his side, especially in the first half. He had brilliant saves that kept his side in the game. We saw him deny Yusuf, he denied Naji, and also in the second half he's been very lively. It's not just about the saves he's made in the second half, but the fact that he has come out to cut off crosses, the fact that he has been lively in the second half has kept his side in the game, and has also made sure that his side maintained their 1-goal lead in this encounter. He had this scare in the first half where he had to be treated for a very long time, and then he stood up to continue the game. And now again, maybe it's just maybe it's just his foot, and he may not be doing those kick outs again, or they kick out whenever they have a goal kick, another player may just take the responsibility of kicking out. But then he's been phenomenal. He's had a good game in this encounter. And then sometimes when the pressure is high, you know what goalkeepers do. When the pressure is high on their side, the goalkeepers tend to find a way to neutralize the pressure, or find a way to bring the pressure down. And maybe that is just what he has done. We do not know. But talking about his game in particular, his general performance in this game, it has been brilliant.
Well, of course, guys, we are back as Jude Matthew is up on his feet again. The referee about to do the drop dead ball situation. Of course, Jaguar plunging forward. Out for a foul in favor of Jaguar, who can take the free kick.
Let him not admire her.
That's it long into the box, but that was quite a short one. But Jaguar still with a chance. Well, that one is out for a corner. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, I've just been informed that there will be 5 minutes of additional time to the close of this tie. Corner to Jaguar. Taking into the box. Of course, tries to take a shot. And that has been ballooned straight to Ahiohoro. And of course, a yellow card has been given to the man donning the jersey number 32 for right to win. Of course, Sunday Christian. Another free kick in a vantage position for Jaguar. 5 minutes of additional time. Do you think that Jaguar might maybe get back into this game? Maybe a draw?
It's possible for them to get back into this game. In football, anything is possible. They can just play this free kick, get a goal, and before you know it, they've gotten the winner. It happened in the game between the CAF Champions League game between Rivers United and RS Berkane. Rivers United were just 2 minutes away from a win at the Gospel Akpabio Stadium in Uyo, and then RS Berkane got that goal through a free kick as well, and then in the final minute of the game, they got the winner. So it's possible for Jaguar. It's football. Anything can happen. Michael Ekunife standing just behind the ball. He can just score this goal, and you see Jaguar FC come back into the game.
Well, Ekunife takes it. Well, of course, he ricochets off the back of a player to be out, or rather, it's out for a corner in favor of Jaguar. Well, late minutes drama maybe about to ensure. Of course, all the players of right to win are in their box to defend this slender lead. Of course, the ball is cleared, but maybe not entirely to safety. Of course, Jaguar go back to their box. Well, Michael with good intent, but then that wasn't coming out good as Jaguars. Samuel Ibrahim, the goal scorer, crossed into the ball straight into the hands of Jubrin Daniel, who opted not to restart quickly. Of course, Jaguar, knowing that time is not on their side, right to win, knowing that maybe we've done enough to earn our right to win this encounter. Right to win, plunging forward, out for a throw-in in favor of Jaguar. They restart immediately, Jaguar. Rushing down the flank with a chance to cross into the box. He does that! Well, that goalkeeper is far from the ball and is out for a throw-in for Jaguar. Well, a player of Jaguar is down there on the turf, of which the right to win players will be happy, because of course that is going to help them. The medics have been called upon And of course, better we've seen late dramas ensuing. Of course, that cross waiting for Elekwa OT, but then that young man was far. Had he got into space, maybe he would have just been able to tuck that ball into the goalpost and get his team level.
That was a big chance for Jaguar FC to get themselves level in this encounter, but then it didn't happen, and it brings us back to what we've been saying. You are in possession of the ball. You have crosses coming into the box, and then there's nobody to connect to those crosses. There's no way you're going to get a goal like that. They've missed a couple of chances, and in the last minutes, they are still missing chances, and that this doesn't spell well. You also have to give credit to Right to Win, who've defended well. They've made sure that they've kept it clean at the back. If not, Jaguar would have come back into this encounter.
We're throwing to Jaguar. Another throw. TikTok says the clock as we are counting seconds to the end of this game. Ladies and gentlemen, free kick to Right to Win. Well, Jaguar would be disappointed if at the end of the day they don't get anything in this game for all the good works they've done. Jubrain Daniel, a rock of Gibraltar for this Jaguar team. Cross to Jaguar in the box. Dispossessed right there. Free kick to Right to Win. TikTok says the clock. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of this encounter between Jaguar and Right to Win. Right to Win might have done enough. They've done enough to end their right to win by a goal to nothing against Jaguar FC, courtesy of some defensive mix-up right there. And of course, we saw Isiaka Abdulaziz square play into substitute Samuel Ibrahim, who tucked into an open post, and Jaguar FC, for all their good works, lost again right here at the Elephant Park. Remember, they lost to Pepperes by 2-1, lost to Cone by a goal to nothing, and again they lost to Right to Win by a goal to nothing. Bertel, your assessment of the game, and of course, even though it was a slender lead and a slender margin, a win is a win. 3 points in the bag for Right to Win.
A win is a win. 3 points in the bag for Right to Win. They were the better side. They showed promise. They wanted to get this win, and it's for Jaguar FC. It's such a painful way to lose the game. They did a very good job. They had chances to bury this game in the first half. They also had the chances in the second half, and then lose to an avoidable situation which they felt would have been